today's news, we will be unravel and map onto the updates on Philippine Constitution and government. First in line, on the first part, the continuation of history of the Philippine government from 1973 Constitution, the 1986 Freedom Constitution, and the 1987 Constitution. The second part is we will be going to understand and tackle the Article 2, Declaration of Principles and State Policies from Section 1 to 28. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas! You are watching Philippine Politico Live, where we delve into government and constitution. I am your news anchor, Junilyn Foranda. Maayong gabi sa inyong tanan, Pilipinas! Narito ngayong gabi si Janelle Clemente para muling balikan at ihayag ang kadugtong na kasaysayan ng ating bansa. Magandang gabi, Janelle!
Magandang gabi, Ju.
So tell us, what was the 1973 all about?
The article provides a comprehensive overview of the 1973 Constitution of the Philippines and its amendments during the martial law era under President Ferdinand Marcos. Initially intended to establish a parliamentary-style government, the Constitution vested legislative power in a National Assembly while designating the President as a ceremonial head of state and the Prime Minister as the head of government. However, through a series of amendments, President Marcos consolidated power, effectively transforming the system into a presidential one where executive authority remains centralized. Despite the constitutional framework theoretically advocating for a true parliamentary system, Marcos manipulated the Constitution to retain executive power for himself, undermining the intended balance of powers. Furthermore, the article highlights how the amendments to the 1973 Constitution reflect the departure from the parliamentary model towards a semi-presidential system where executive authority was restored to the president and direct presidential elections were reinstated. The amendments also introduced an executive committee to assist the president, diminishing the role of the prime minister to a mere head of the cabinet. Despite these changes, the essence of power remained concentrated in the hands of President Marcos, illustrating the erosion of democratic institutions and the perversion of the constitutional framework during his regime. Overall, the article exposes the manipulation of the 1973 Constitution by Marcos, ultimately leading to the concentration of power in the executive branch and the erosion of democratic principles in the Philippines.
What about the 1986 Freedom Constitution?
The article discusses the issuance of Proclamation Number 3, known as the 1986 Freedom Constitution by President Corazon C. Aquino following the EDSA People Power Revolution in the Philippines, which ousted President Ferdinand E. Marcos. This provisional constitution adopted elements from the 1973 Constitution and empowered the President with extensive authority to restructure the government and dismiss officials. Additionally, it mandated the appointment of a commission tasked with drafting a new constitution. The issuance of this proclamation marked a pivotal moment in Philippine history as the nation transitioned towards a new era of democracy and governance following years of authoritarian rule under Marcos. The provided article offers a comprehensive overview of the background and significant features of the 1987 Constitution of the Philippines. It outlines the historical context leading to the Constitution's drafting, including the aftermath of the People Power Revolution that ousted President Ferdinand E. Marcos and the subsequent efforts led by President Corazon Aquino to establish a new constitution. The article highlights the diverse composition of the Constitutional Commission tasked with drafting the Constitution and the key issues debated during its sessions, such as the form of government, abolition of the death penalty, and the economic policies integration. Furthermore, the article delves into the significant features of the 1987 Constitution, emphasizing its establishment of the Philippines as a democratic and republican state with sovereignty vested in the people. It delineates the separation of powers among the three branches of government, executive, legislative, and judicial, and outlines their respective functions and powers. Additionally, the article underscores the importance of the Bill of Rights in the Constitution, which guarantees fundamental freedoms and protections to those found in other democratic constitutions. Overall, the article provides a thorough analysis of the constitutional framework and key principles that shape the governance structures of the Philippines.
Maraming salamat sa pagpapaliwanag at panunumbalik sa amin ng ating kasaysayan, Janelle. Mga kababayan, let us now begin from the section 1 of our principles. Let us have Pauline Mendoza. Pau?
Yes, Ju. Magandang gabi sa'yo. Section 1 of the Philippine Constitution establishes the Philippines as a democratic and republican state with sovereignty vested in the people from whom all the government authority originates. This form of government involves representation by elected officials while incorporating elements of direct democracy such as initiatives, referendums, and recalls. Key manifestations of this democratic and republican state include the presence of a Bill of Rights, adherence to the rule of majority, recognition of government by laws rather than individuals, conduct of elections based on popular will, adherence to the principle of separation of powers and checks and balances, limitation on the legislature ability to pass irrevocable laws and adherence laws governing public officials. Sovereignty entails the supreme authority to govern, giving the Filipino people the right to establish, alter, and define the jurisdiction and powers of their government. Section 2 of the Constitution renounces war as a national policy, embracing principle of international law as part of domestic law. The Philippines prioritizes peace, equality, justice, freedom, cooperation, and friendship with all nations. While aggressive war is rejected, defense of national honor and integrity may necessitate retaliation. This stance reflects the doctrine of incorporation, automatically adopting international law and emphasize fostering peace and goodwill, irrespective of differences in race, creed, ideology, or political system. Section 3 of the Constitution asserts the supremacy of civilian authority over the military in all circumstances. This principle is inherent in a republican system and is internationally recognized. It serves as a safeguard against military dictatorship, ensuring that civilian government maintains control over the military, with the President as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The section outlines the prime duty of the government to serve and protect the people, including the call for citizens to defend the state when necessary. It emphasized the obligation for citizens to render personal military or civil service under conditions set by law. This service is essential for the defense of the state, performed through the organization of an army, and is compulsory, meaning citizens cannot refuse to participate according to law. The requirement for service prevents arbitrary action by public officials.
Section 5. The maintenance of the peace and order, the protection of life, liberty, and property, and the promotion of the general welfare are essential for the enjoyment by all the people of the blessings of democracy.
The article emphasized the government's responsibility to ensure a peaceful and orderly society, safeguard the fundamental rights of citizens, promotes the general welfare, and uphold the blessing of democracy. It underscores the importance of creating conditions where all individuals can thrive and enjoy the benefits of living in a democratic society.
Section 6. The separation of church and the state shall be inviolable.
Article 2, Section 6 of the Philippine Constitution establishes the inviolable separation of church and state. This principle ensures that the church does not interfere in political matters and the state does not dictate religious beliefs. The state cannot establish an official religion, provide financial support to any religion, or favor one religion over others. Every individual has the freedom to practice any religion or none at all. The clause does not signify hostility towards religion, but rather mandates respect for religious beliefs. Certain exemptions exist for religious properties from taxation, and religious minister may be assigned to various governmental institutions without violating this principle. Additionally, legal holidays such as Holy Week, Christmas Day, and Sundays are recognized due to their moral significance. The law also prohibits polygamy, bigamy, and crimes against workships, as they violate fundamental state law.
Section 7. The state shall pursue an independent foreign policy. In its relation with other states, the paramount consideration shall be national sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interest, and the right self-determination.
Section 7 of the Constitution outlines the state commitment to pursuing an independent foreign policy, prioritizing national sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interest, and the right to self-determination in its relation with other states. This policy aims to ensure that the Philippines maintains autonomy in its international affairs and is not unduly influenced by external forces. The formulation and execution of foreign policy primarily rests with the President and the Department of Foreign Affairs. The overarching objective is to establish friendly relations with all nations, irrespective of differences in race, religion, ideology, or social system, with a focus on fostering beneficial economic and trade partnerships.
Well, thank you, Pauline. Up next here, we have Benazir Robles to continue.
Article 2 Declaration of Principles and State Policies Section 8 to 13. Magandang gabi, Ju. Section 8. The explanation provided further elaborates on this policy by mentioning that the Philippines is a ratifier to the Biological Weapons Convention, which bans the production and import of biological weapons in the country. Additionally, it highlights that the Philippines has signed the Southeast Asian Nuclear Weapon Free Zone Treaty, indicating the country's commitment to promoting a region free from nuclear weapons. In summary, this section emphasizes the Philippines' stance on nuclear disarmament and its commitment to promoting peace and security in the region by prohibiting the presence of nuclear weapons within its territory. Section 9. This section underscores the government commitment to fostering inclusive economic growth, social justice, and the well-being of all citizens by implementing policies that address poverty, promoting employment, and enhance the quality of life for everyone. Section 10. This section of the Constitution implies that the state has a responsibility to promote social justice in all aspects of national development. It emphasizes that in fulfilling this duty, the state should prioritize the welfare of the less fortunate members of society, those who have fewer opportunities or resources. Essentially, it underscores the importance of addressing socio-economic inequalities and ensuring that policies and actions of the government aim to uplift the disadvantaged and marginalized sectors of the population. Section 11. This section implies that the state recognizes and respects the inherent dignity of every human person. It guarantees that human rights are upheld and protected regardless of any laws or regulations that may be enacted. The explanation clarifies that these rights are not subject to modification or revocation by the government or any legislative body because they stem from the fundamental belief in the intrinsic dignity and moral worth of every individual. In essence, this section emphasizes the importance of human rights and the commitment of the state to ensure their preservation and protection as a fundamental aspect of governance. Section 12. Section 12 of the Constitution recognizes the sanctity of family life and mandates the state to protect and strengthen the family as a fundamental social institution. It emphasizes equal protection for the lives of both the mother and the unborn from conception. Additionally, it underscores their natural right and duty of parents in fostering the civic efficiency and moral development of their children, with support from the government. This provision serves as a preventive measure against potential future legislation legalizing abortion, reflecting the importance of protecting the rights of the unborn. Section 13. The state aims to instill patriotism and nationalism in the youth, while encouraging their active participation in public and civic affairs, recognizing them as the future leaders of the Philippines.
Thank you, Binazir. To continue the Declaration of Principles, let's hear it from Shamia. Magandang gabi, Shamia.
Magandang gabi rin, Ju.
Now, explain to us the Section 14. The state recognizes the role of woman nation building and shall ensure the fundamental equality before the law of woman and men.
Based on the explanation, the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels. Towards this end, the Constitution provides the exercise of academic freedom. Academic freedom in Lobster's Encyclopedia of Social Science is the freedom of the teachers or research worker in higher institution of learning to investigate and discuss the problem of his science and to express his conclusion, whether through publication or in the instruction of students, without inference from political or ecclesiastical authority or from administrative official of the institution in which he is employed unless his methods are found by qualified bodies of his profession to be clarified, incompetent, or contrary to professional duties.
Section 15. The state shall protect and promote the right to health of the people and instill health consciousness among them.
This section implies that the government has a responsibility to ensure the protection and promotion of the right to health among its citizens. It's underscored the importance of maintaining a healthy population not only for individual well-being, but also for the overall productivity and development of the nation. By installing health consciousness and actively promoting health initiatives, the government aims to empower its citizens to actively participate in nation building. This commitment to the right to health is rooted in Article 13, Section 11 and 13 of the Constitution, which outlines various social justice principles, including preventions related to health and welfare.
Section 16. The state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology and accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature.
This section implies that the state has the responsibility to safeguard and promote the people's right to a balanced and healthful environment that is in harmony with nature's rhythm. In saying it is underscored the government obligation to protect the environment and ensure that human activities are conducted in a manner that does not degrade or harm the natural balance and health of ecosystems. These provisions, such as the commitment to environmental conservation, sustainability, and the provision of the biodiversity for the well-being of both present and future generations.
Section 17. The state shall give priority to education, science and technology, arts, culture, and sport to foster patriotism and nationalism, accelerate social progress, and promote total human liberation and development. Based on the explanation, the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels. Section 18. The state affirms labor as a primary social economic force. It shall protect the rights of workers and promote their welfare. Section 19. The state shall develop a self-reliant and independent national economy effectively controlled by Filipinos.
Section 19 charts the constitutional roadmap for economic progress, outlining clear guidelines for achieving economic self-reliance and independent national economy and effective Filipino control of economic resources. With a steadfast focus on Article 12, National Economy and Autonomy, Section 1, this constitutional directive and restores the nation's enabling institutions to chart a path towards prosperity and sustainable growth, prioritizing policies that promote economic self-reliance and empower Philippine citizens. The government lies on the foundation for a robust and resilient economy.
Maraming salamat, Shamia! Magandang gabi, Pilipinas! Going back to our news in understanding the Article 2, Declaration of Principles and State Policies. To continue the rest section, nandito si Nathaniel Mora. In Section 22, the state recognizes and promotes the rights of indigenous cultural communities within the framework of national unity and development.
Section 22. Ang interpretasyon para sa Section 22 ng Konstitusyon ay naglilinaw sa tunay na layunin nito na kilalanin at itaguyod ang karapatan ng mga katutubong kultural na pamayanan sa loob ng pambansang pagkakaisa at pag-unlad. Ipinapaliwanag ang terminong cultural minorities ay hindi tumutukoy sa mga grupo ng mga Pilipino na may kulturang may kahinaan. Layunin ng seksyong ito na protektahan ang karapatan at integridad ng mga katutubong pamayanan, pati na rin ang kanilang partisipasyon sa pambansang pag-unlad.
Section 23. The state shall encourage non-governmental community-based or sectoral organizations that promote the welfare of the nation.
Section 23. Sa seksyong ito ay pinapahiwatig ng Estado ang kahalagaan ng mga non-governmental organization o NGOs, community-based organization at sectoral organization sa pagpapalaganap ng kagalingan ng bansa. Binibigyan diin nito ang pag-udyok at suporta ng pamahalaan sa mga organisasyong ito. Ang paliwanag ay naglilinaw na ang mga gawain ng NGO ay sumasaklaw sa malawak na saklaw, kabilang ang pangangalaga sa kapaligiran, kagalingang panlipunan, pangangalakal para sa iba't ibang layunin, at pagtatanggol sa karapatang pantao. Maaaring mag-operate ang mga organisasyong ito sa iba't ibang antas, mula sa proyektong pang-komunidad hanggang sa pang-nasyonal o maging pandaigdigang mga advokasya.
Section 24. The state recognizes the vital role of communication and information in nation building.
Section 24. Sa seksyong ito ay pinapakita ng Estado ang kahalagaan ng komunikasyon at impormasyon sa pagpapalakas ng bansa. Pinapahalagan nito ang epektibong komunikasyon at access sa impormasyon sa pagpapaunlad ng iba't ibang sektor ng lipunan. Ang paliwanag ay naglilinaw pa sa kahalagaan ng pambansang patakaran sa impormasyon at komunikasyon para sa pag-unlad na mapapadali sa koordinasyon at integrasyon ng mga intervensyon ng iba't ibang institusyon. Sa kabuuan, ipinapakita nito ang kahalagaan ng pagbibigay prioridad sa mga inisyatibong pangkomunikasyon at impormasyon bilang bahagi ng pagsisikap na magtayo ng mas matatag at mas maunlad na bansa.
Maraming salamat, Nathaniel! Ngayon naman, para ipagpatuloy, narito naman si Adrian Isaya.
Gabidyo, Session 25. Bilang tugon dito ay naprobahan ng Kongreso ang RA 7160, kilarin bilang Local Government Code 1991, LGC, kung saan ang patakaran sa autonomiya ng lokal na pamahalaan ay mas partikular na ipinapaliwanag na ganito. 2. Pahayag ng patakaran na riyan ang inihayag ng Estado na ang territorial at politikal na mga sangay ng Estado ay dapat matamasa ng tunay at makabuluhang autonomiya upang mapanatili ang kanilang pinakamataas na pag-unlad bilang self-reliant na pamayanan at gawing mas epektibo mga kasosyo sa paggamit ng pambansang layunin.
Section 26. The state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. Section 27 ng Saligang Batas ng Pilipinas. Nagpapahiwatig na ang Estado ay obligadong patibayin ang katapatan at integridad sa pampublikong paglilingkod. Inaatasan nito ang pamahalaan na ipatupad ang positibo at epektibong mga hakbang laban sa katiwalian at pangungurakot. Sa pinakasaligang layunin, binibigyan diin ng seksyong ito ang pagpapahalaga ng pamahalaan sa pagtitiyak ng transparensya, pananagutan at etikal na pag-uugali sa mga opisyal at kawani ng pampublikong serbisyo. Habang ipinapakita rin ang kahalagahan ng pakikibaka laban sa mga korap na gawain na nag-aalipin sa tiwala at kapakanan ng publiko. At ang pinakalas, Section 28. Subject to reasonable conditions prescribed by law, the state adopts and implements a policy of full public disclosure of all its transactions involving public interest. Batay sa seksyon na ito, ipinapahayag ng Estado sa ilalim ng mga makatarungan na kondisyon na itinakda ng batas ang isang patakaran na ganap sa pampublikong paglalantad ng mga transaksyon nito na may kinalaman sa pampublikong interes. Ibig sabihin nito, kailangan ilantad ng pamahalaan ang lahat ng kaukulang impormasyon tungkol sa kanilang mga gawain, desisyon at transaksyon sa pampubliko. Ang loha'y kasalikod ng patakaran na ito ay nakaugat sa prinsipyong demokratiko na nagbibigay diin sa karapatan ng mga tao na suriin ang maging impormado tungkol sa mga aksyon at desisyon ng kanilang pamahalaan. Sa pinakapunto, ito ay nagtataguyod ng transparensya, pananagutan, at aktibong pakikilahok ng mamamayan sa pamamahala sa pamamagitan ng pagtiyak na ang mga gawain ng pamahalaan ay bukas sa pampublikong pagsusuri at talakayan. Maraming salamat, Adrian Isaya. Mga kababayan, ang pag-aaral ng mga saligang batas at pamahalaan ng Pilipinas ay nagbibigay ng kaalaman sa likas ng balangkas ng politiko sa bansa na nagpapailalim sa pag-unawa sa mga prinsipyong demokratiko at institusyon nito. Ito rin ay nagbibigay ng kapangyarihan sa mga mamamayan na aktibong makilahok sa pamamahala na nagtataguyod ng pananagutan at maingat na pagpapasya sa paghubog ng kinabukasan ng bansa. And that's the end of our latest update around the world. Everything is tackled and everything is explained clearly. Again, this is your news anchor Junilin Coronda. And together we deliver top-notch global news coverage to you. Maraming salamat, Pilipinas! Tomorrow would be another day of exceptional news only on Philippine Politico.